The Vancouver Canucks have just pulled off the old switcheroo. After all these games where they play well in the first period, okay in the second, and crap the bed in the third and lose in regulation, they give us the opposite. They have themselves a bad first period, a bad second period, and a third period that wasn't amazing, but they still went out there and won. Bruce, there it is chance in Ottawa. Like, what the hell? This game was wild, and I don't necessarily mean Minnesota. This was a hockey game between two of the worst teams in the NHL in terms of points percentage, and we had highlighted that actually earlier in today's show, talking about the Connor Bedard sweepstakes, how Vancouver and Ottawa are both there, neck in neck with low point percentages in the NHL, and guess what? We see ourselves in this game the best and the worst of both teams. Both teams had very good opportunities, and both teams capitalized on them. The Ottawa Senators, I would say, were the better team, holistically, because they played a better 40 minutes than Vancouver did, but ultimately, it was a few turnovers, a few bad giveaways, and just a few minutes worth of mistakes that cost the Ottawa Senators this game. Vancouver, on the other hand, you had spectacular goaltending from Spencer Martin. The guy had a .900 save percentage after letting in 4 goals. Like, they gave up 41 shots to the Sens, and 35 of them came in the first 2 periods of the game. Vancouver did not play a good game in this one. Ottawa did not play a great game in this one. But ultimately, Vancouver gets the win. And it's in a way that I think it's so fun to watch, because obviously, you know, seeing 6-4 Vancouver victories is cool. You like seeing all the goals get scored. It's hyped. If you've got fantasy players participating in the game like I do, I had Horvat and a Brinkat on my team activated for today. It was great, but from an on-ice perspective, trying to analyze how well this team was playing, this was not a good game in the slightest. Even John Garrett went out there and said, yeah, they had a great third period where they controlled the play, they had some really good offensive zone time, they had some chances, they scored some goals, but where was that for the first 40 minutes? Let's go to the goals, because there were 11 of them. No, 10 of them, excuse me, to chronicle here. If we spend a minute per goal, then that's an entire 10-minute video. The first goal of the game comes 50 seconds in, because of course it does. The Vancouver Canucks give up an offensive opportunity for Drake Batherson, who receives a very nice pass in front from DeBrincat. It was the first shot of the game. It happens because Spencer Martin doesn't play the puck on a long dump-in into the Canucks zone. DeBrincat then takes it, he goes in front, and it's Batherson with the open net. I will say this, before continuing with any of the other notes, Spencer Martin had a very good game when it comes to his overall ability to stop pucks, his clutch factor, his positioning, agility, athleticism, it's all there, but the problem with Martin that we really did see in this game was that his puck handling is so below average. I might even say it's just straight up bad. The guy doesn't know when to come out to play the puck. The guy lets pucks that he probably should have been playing go by him, which leads to the Ottawa Senators getting it first. There were a few rims around the boards that Martin went out to play that ended up on the sticks of Senators guys, and it kind of forced Martin to retreat back. This was not the best game for Martin's puck handling, and I hope that the goaltending coaches, as well as the video crew, were able to point it out that, yeah, no, Martin, you've got to work on your stick handling, man. Your decision-making, when to come out to touch the puck, when to leave the puck and just let it go, and what you do with it when you have it on your stick, because he still is very unpolished in that respect. It's not his fault, obviously, but it's just something that I thought was noteworthy to bring up. After this Batherson goal, there are no goals scored for the next 18 minutes of play. There were a few power plays in there. Tyler Myers blocked a shot with his jaw, I think, which hurt him up for a little bit. But the next goal of the game comes with 53 seconds to go in the first. It's Ethan Bear who takes a long shot, and the rebound is right there for Bo Horvat to bury in his 11th on the season. The guy's one of the top goal scorers in the entire National Hockey League, and he continues his hot streak here. But not until Travis Hamonic, former Vancouver Canuck and current Senator, gets on the board instead. It's a beautiful shot from long range, a slapper, assisted by Tim Stutzle just 16 seconds after Bo Horvat ties the game. Hamonic makes it 2-1 with less than a minute remaining in the first period. Very unfortunate turn of events there for Spencer Martin, but Hamonic is the guy who does it. The second period gets underway, and the Vancouver Canucks are completely under siege. This was a bad period from Vancouver. Straight up. Just the zone time, the opportunities, the desperation saves. Spencer Martin had to do it all here in this second period as the Canucks get the only goal. Very nice to see Ilya Mikheyev getting what is an absolutely beautiful rush on goal. He takes the pass at the blue line and he spins around the Ottawa defender, cuts in towards the goal, drives the net, and goes far side. At this point, it's a 2-2 game, but the shots on goal are 31-11 for Ottawa. And this is kind of one of the things that I've been seeing from Ottawa Senators fans in my comment section and on my Twitter account feed as well, that when the Sens are playing like we know they can play, they actually control the play very well. It's just once they start taking their foot off the gas pedal just a tad, it allows other teams to strike in and get their offense going as well. And that's kind of why at the end of the second period it was 2-2, even though the Sens were very much the better team in the game. And that's without talking about all the other chances that were there too. Tkachuk got a breakaway that was stopped by Martin, Miller drew a penalty, and OEL hit the post towards the end of that power play. The third period then gets underway, and guess what? It's Bo Horvat, just a minute in, who does a very good Bo Horvat-like thing. He goes to the front of the net, while Connor Garland steals the puck from Travis Hamonic. Garland out in front, beautiful centering pass, and Bo is there for his 12th on the year. My fantasy team thanks Bo Horvat to the moon and back because, man, this guy has been putting the biscuit in the basket. Very nice to see. It's 3-2 Vancouver. They have the lead, yet Ottawa has been the better team. And then that gets cemented even further when Oliver Ekman-Larsson throws a shot towards the goal and it gets tipped in. NHL.com right now says it's OEL from Garland and Boeser, but based off of the broadcast, it looked like it might have been Brock's goal, especially with the way that he celebrated. So I don't know if Brock Boeser has his first goal in the season or if he's just stuck there with 0 goals and 5 assists on the year. But either way, Brock gets a point. OEL's long shot gives the Canucks the 2-goal lead, and then all the Canucks have to do is hold on and carry on. But they don't really do that because, Miller goes to the box for holding after the Canucks have some good pressure, and it's Tim Stutzle who scores on a beautiful give-and-go assisted by DeBrincat. He comes in all alone on Martin and buries the biscuit. Good give-and-go, and I'm kind of good with the assist from DeBrincat. He's on my fantasy team too. But the Canucks are blowing the lead again. And we've seen it in very limited capacity in the season that, hey, okay, when they face adversity, when they get a goal scored against, sometimes they can battle back, but other times they don't. What are they going to do here? Guess what they do here? They take advantage of a few really bad Ottawa turnovers in their own zone, and it's Jack Studnicka who picks the puck up, he shoots it, Talbot makes the save, but it trickles in right by as Talbot didn't get enough of it. It's 5-2 Vancouver, not even a minute after Tim Stutzle brought the Sens within 1. Then, Vasily Podkolzin takes an irresponsible delay of game penalty by shooting it over the glass in his own end, and Claude Giroux scores on a long shot. This is getting a little bit anxious now because now the Canucks have blown yet another multi-goal lead. It's 5-4 now with a few minutes to go. Unfortunately, the Sens are not able to score once more. It's an empty net. Miller goes over to Pettersson, and Petey buries it. It's 6-4, the final score. There was another penalty given out to Ilya Mikheyev at the end, and I don't really want to talk about that. It happens. 13 seconds to go. The Sens tried to get something going there in the final frame, but no, it was not able to manifest itself, and the Canucks walk away out of Ottawa with a hometown appearance from Ryan Reynolds as well as an extra 2 points awarded by Spencer Martin. Really, if you had Thatcher Demko in this game, and Demko was playing as inconsistently and as unreliably as he's been this season so far, I don't think the Canucks win this game. Spencer Martin's very good goaltending was part of the reason the Canucks even had a chance to sniff victory in this one here. I guess you could say, okay, they battled back and they battled hard, they came back in the third and they won, which is great, but how many freaking opportunities did the Senators have that were high danger in this one that should have gone in? I'm going to go on to moneypuck.com right now and see the game, what's it called? The deserve to win-o-meter. Yes, that's what it was, between the Sens and the Canucks here. Yeah, so it says that the Sens had an 80% chance to win this game, based off of the opportunities they got, the high danger chances they had, and Spencer Martin just did his job in stopping them all. Okay, maybe not them all, he had 4 goals against, but he stopped most of them, so much to the point that the Canucks, despite having an 18% chance at winning this game, ended up winning by 2. Hockey's crazy, man. Hockey's absolutely nuts. Talk to the comments on your thoughts about the Canucks beating Ottawa 6-4. I hope you enjoyed this video. Juraj 99, and bye.